What's up, guys? Rick here with a very special episode of 300 Yards to Unknown. In this one, I get to speak with Viktor Hovland. That's right. You know him, and I've gotten to know Viktor here recently, and as impressive as he is on the golf course, he is equally as impressive off the golf course. He's a very thoughtful, kind guy with a lot of really cool thoughts and ideas and viewpoints on things. So we obviously are going to talk golf, but we're going to talk a little bit about the mental side. We'll talk a little bit about his hobbies and just whatever else comes up. So I hope you enjoy. All right, let me welcome in two-time winner on the PGA Tour. Throw another European Tour victory on there. All-around good guy, Viktor Hovland. Viktor, much appreciated you joining.
Yeah, Rick, good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
I have learned in recent weeks that you and I probably share identical YouTube recommendation pages. Like that's like 100%. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of the same stuff. I wouldn't say identical. I listen to or I watch a lot of weird stuff. So not sure I should disclose all of those things, but I'm sure we've got some similarities for sure.
Yeah, very smart. And I know your taste in music is much different than mine. So we'll stay in the areas that I certainly know and trust. First off, listen, let's get the business out of the way. Let's talk golf, then we can talk about whatever we want here. But your 2021 year, we are barreling towards the end of 2021. You've probably got a couple more events on the schedule, but how would you assess your play so far this year?
Yeah, I'd say it's been pretty good. Obviously, picked up a win in Germany on the European Tour this summer, and I feel like I've had a bunch of top finishes. I would have liked to have, maybe won a couple of tournaments here and there this year, but it's really hard to win. And just looking at kind of the stats throughout the year, it's been pretty nice to see that every single statistical category I've improved since last year. So if I can keep that up for a few more years, that's going to be pretty good.
Was that a tangible goal? Did you go into this year saying, I want to improve my stats, or are you just looking back and saying, wow, it's nice and I want to keep this trajectory going?
Yeah. So when I turned pro, I basically did not want to mess with too much. I had a nice college career, and I was going to get a handful of starts on the PGA Tour, and it's basically, okay, well, show us what you can do. So at that time, it's not really the right time to be messing with, okay, I need to start implementing this, and this. You're just trying to play for a tour spot, whether that's the Corn Free Tour or the mini tours or the PGA Tour. So I was very fortunate to get a PGA Tour card my first year, and then after playing that first year, I met Jeff Smith or started working with him, and we basically just found a plan for every single part of my game and how we could work to get every single part of the game better. So for off the tee, I was already a great driver when I turned pro, but I think since last year, I've maybe added 10 miles an hour ball speed. And obviously, I'm not hitting it as straight as I used to, but because length is so important, it's helping me off the tee. Always been a good iron player, but I've gained marginally since last year, so that's great. Chipping obviously is very volatile, but I feel like it's coming around, and also just looking at the stats this year, it's been overall better than my last year. And then putting, just implementing aim point has helped me tremendously.
Yeah, I've seen you out there doing that. And actually, I have to tell you, I played golf with Scott on Saturday, and he has no idea what he's doing. First of all, but he's
no touch.
He's straddling the line. He has got no idea what's going on. But it's a very complex system, right? Like, you have to get the feel in your feet for, correct me if I'm wrong, different degrees of slope. I mean, it's a pretty complex system, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a percent slope.
Actually. Excuse me. Yes.
We have this device that we can kind of check the percentage on the slopes, and I used probably 2 weeks to kind of get a feel for, what a 1% and a 2% and a 3% kind of feels like. So when I got that in, then it's just kind of remembering, okay, from 10 feet and in, you stand by the ball and you have a certain arm bend for the pace of the greens. And then,
okay,
yeah, so then you get into the technical stuff there. But the most important part is just kind of, if you can feel the slope decently well on your feet, that's kind of the 90% of it, and then it's just kind of learning what you need to do with it.
Got it. Very interesting. It really, yeah, I think in theory, it makes a lot of sense to me. In practice, it becomes
tough.
practice. Yeah. And it
Yeah.
becomes learning what it is. And do I trust my feet and all that stuff? So very cool to hear. I think it's interesting that well, I'll just spoil when we're recording this. We're like 2 weeks out or a week and a half out from you getting to defend a title, Victor. You're going back to Mayakoba, which it's shaping up to be a great field. And how will this feel when you step on the course as the defending champion?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird.
It's really cool. I got to play my first PJ Tour event there, and I also played the World Amateur Team Championships the year before that, I believe, for Norway. So I think it's going to be my 5th time going to that resort and playing that course. So I kind of feel like a veteran, which is weird going to these tournaments. And obviously, getting my first win in Puerto Rico, I wasn't able to defend the year after. So this is going to be special. Just kind of interesting to see how I handle, being the defending champion. You obviously feel like you get a bit more spotlight on you, but try not to let that affect me too much, and just go out there and play my game.
Well, the thing that one of the things that I admire most about you is I think that you're very aware that you don't know how you're going to react in certain situations. Like that response to me was like, yeah, I might get to Mayakoba and it might be weird, and like we'll see how it goes. And I feel like that's actually a strength to have, as opposed to just being blindly confident or blindly pessimistic or anything like that. You're just aware that, hey, I'm just going to be in the moment, and whatever happens kind of happens.
Yeah, it kind of goes both ways. I feel like being aware of these things, and I don't really want to show up there acting like, okay, I'm the man to beat, and even though I do feel like I'm gonna bring my best game over there, and I feel like I'm playing well and can definitely win again, but I don't have this blind confidence going into a tournament, and sometimes it's kind of nice, because if you are struggling, you kind of you have this kind of blind spot in your mind that you don't want to see it. All you're focusing on is, okay, I'm so great, and I'm going to go out there and play good golf. Whereas, I can maybe get too much on the other side, where I may be overcritical or overanalyzing things to where, I might not get my best golf out in the moment. So that's something, it's a little double-edged sword. I'm very analytical, and I like to, critique myself. And if I made a bad play, I'll make sure to tell myself that was not the right play, or that was bad, and I need to work on it. I need to get better. So that's helped me, and that's one of the reasons why I feel like I'm on the PGA Tour. But then at the same time, it'd be nice to, just think you're the greatest of all time every single second.
Yeah, James Hahn, we might have to bleep this, but James Hahn's swing thought for a while was, I'm the greatest fucking golfer in the world, or something
really?
like that.
That's awesome.
Which is like, hey, if that works for you.
There's a time and place for that. Sometimes you've done all your preparations, and you're playing good golf, and it's just a matter of, okay, I'm going to freaking get all my best stuff out there today, and let's bring it, So, appreciate that. That's awesome.
I love that. So, diving into that a little bit deeper, I mean, you seem to find motivation in different ways. And I think you and I kind of align on this as well, where it's like, hey, if somebody tells you can't do something, that makes you want to do it more, right? Because Mayakoba didn't go so great for you the first couple of times you went there, right?
Yeah, played my first tour event there, and I was obviously very nervous. Missed a cut by shot. Felt like I played well enough to play in the weekend, and that left a sour taste in my mouth. Coming back the next year, I really didn't play all that great that time of the year, kind of later in the fall, and I missed a cut by shot again there. And as I'm going through kind of the fall schedule, thinking about, okay, what kind of tournaments I'm going to be playing in, and this is the year after. So last year, my agent kind of suggested, hey, you missed a cut here 2 times. Maybe you should play another week. And I just said, no, I know that course is good for me. And even if it's not, I want to use that as kind of fuel for motivation to prove to myself that, that I can play well there. Because I get that there is a time and place for trying to optimize your performances at certain courses that you play well at. But I'm 24 years old, and if I concede to myself already that I'm not going to go to that tournament because I can't play well there, well, then I have no confidence. But if I can use those places to where, okay, I know that place doesn't necessarily fit me well. If I can turn that into, wow, I actually destroy that place, or I played really well there, that just gives so much more satisfaction out of it. And that's how you ultimately become better.
Yeah, it's sick. It's awesome. The idea, and for you, you are in a position that not a lot of guys on the PGA Tour. I mean, obviously there are guys, but there are some guys who have to play every single week. You are taking, with your great play and your early success, you have a chance to choose your schedule. And I imagine it's hard, and even hard in the moment, right? When you're maybe hovering around the cut line on a Friday, knowing there's another event next week. I could go to another one of these, or like, I mean, how difficult is it to summon the motivation actually in the moment during the event?
Yeah, this kind of goes back to me again being pretty hard on myself, because even though I put a lot of, I have a lot of expectations on myself to perform well, and when I don't perform well, it can be difficult at times. But at the same time, I really pride myself in, making cuts and fighting for every single shot. Just kind of thinking, if I can, okay, let's say I'm in a 45th place at a tournament. If I had 9 more holes to go, I'm going to try as hard as I can to get that 45th place to a 32nd. Or whatever it might be. And then that becomes a 32nd to 24th, and then so on and so on and so on. And you add those up throughout the year. Let's say I'm sitting here before Christmas Eve and I'm just looking back at my finishes. If I'm just seeing, okay, I made the cut, but I finished 72nd, and I just remember, man, I could have, let's say I got in the 40th there. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but just kind of, as a tap on the shoulder, hey, I fought for every shot, and it's a lot nicer to see that you actually you might not have had a good day, but you're moving up on the leaderboard instead of just you know what, I'm gonna mail it in, quit. It's always next week. That's just that's a bad spiral to be in.
That's cool, and it makes sense, and I appreciate that. And are you a scoreboard watcher? Do you know where you're at all times?
Yeah, it's hard not to watch them. And that's something that's I've had to deal with a little bit more now in recent times. I feel like I've been getting, because I've already gotten 2 wins and 1 on the European Tour, and now when I go to these tournaments, obviously I'm thinking about winning. It's not about making the cut or whatever. You want to win. As soon as you get a little taste for it, that's kind of all you want to do. But it's tough, because you might be playing an easier course and you have a early late tee time, and then suddenly on the second day, the cut line's at 5 under par, and you're at 2, and just knowing that there might be some wind in the afternoon, you have to shoot 3 under just to play in the weekend. That's tough because you're thinking, okay, second or third hole of the day, it's a par 5, it's reachable. There's not that many birdie holes after that. So if I don't birdie this, it's going to be tough to play after that. Whereas when I'm playing practice rounds or in contention or when I'm just relaxed, I feel like I can make birdie anywhere on every single hole. So that's kind of the mindset that I need to bring back to when I'm in those situations, because it's very easy to think, man, the leader's at 9 under and you're playing in the evening or the afternoon, and it's starting to blow up a little bit. Greens are getting firmer, and you just have to tell yourself it's okay to not shoot 9 under.
Do you work with a mental coach? Because you are very aware of your mentals. You mentioned you're 24 years old. Usually that comes with maturity and experience. Do you work with somebody?
I don't. I kind of think it's a little overrated.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's entirely bad, but I think a lot of it is very common sense stuff. And it seems that when you're playing bad golf, it's always or often correlated with being bad mentally, and when you're playing good golf, you're somehow very strong mentally. So it's you just got to take care of business. But there is a sense of there is an aspect to it where if you can try to make yourself feel comfortable and stuff, that's obviously going to help.
Yeah, well, you could have fooled me. The reason I asked is because it seems like you come at it from a very even keel position. So yeah, don't change what's working, obviously. Okay, one of our shared passions is the game of poker, and I know why I love poker, Victor. I think poker and golf have a lot of similarities. They're hard to solve, right? There's kind of unique situations all the time, and you might only get one crack at it and then have to rely, there's just a lot of mental side to both of these. Do you see those similarities as well? And do you think that's why you enjoy poker as well?
Yeah, I honestly, I didn't see them that much really before I started playing poker, because I've always known the game and kind of played casually when I was living in Norway in high school and stuff. But when I came over here to Oklahoma State, my roommate Zach Boshu, he kind of really got into it, and he got me into it as well. And that's when I started watching these videos, started reading stuff, and then kind of realized the connections to golf. Obviously, there's a lot of numbers and in terms of strokes gained and kind of what your percentages are to win the hand and whatnot. And I thought it was really cool that just kind of understanding that you can make correct plays and still lose, because that's essentially what the game of golf is. You can hit a good shot and it might take a bad bounce and go in the water. And obviously that's frustrating, but that's where kind of the math is there to back you up. If you continually make the right place over time and you have an edge, volume is the only thing that's gonna, even out the variance. So I think it's really cool to, just to kind of understand how that works. And obviously it's a game and it's fun, and it's I think it's another way to see kind of how you're improving.
Yeah, there's a lot you can control and a lot that you absolutely cannot control in both of these games. So yes, I will be ripping my hair out and patting myself on the back when I get my money in good, and I'll just tell myself like, hey, like what am I supposed to do? I got it.
Yeah.
Kind of in a similar vein, obviously, fantasy golf sites, obviously, gaming sites, betting sites, sports books have become more and more prevalent on the PGA Tour. That's something that would have never existed 2 years ago. The PGA Tour, one of the later organizations to kind of get involved and embrace this. And usually, when I talk to players about this, there's a couple of different viewpoints. One, and correct me if I'm wrong, you don't care if anybody bet on you or put you in your fantasy lineup, right?
Not really.
That's like the number one thing is like, no one cares. Don't
Yeah.
tell professional athletes that you bet on them.
Yeah,
Who
a
cares?
lot of people seem to think that we do, but hey, it's at least nice to hear that they have faith in us. It's yeah, and we try to, what if we do well, then they do well, then it's all happy days.
Yeah, it's nice that those things align. But what we're starting to see on tour is we're seeing purses increase. The players is going to be 20 million, which is absolutely freaking wild. And a couple other events, even this week in Bermuda, that's basically doubled in size in the last couple of years. And I imagine that the tour is seeing this potential partnership with some of these companies to increase things for the players, right? This is a players organization. Do you think that that is a common viewpoint on tour amongst your peers, amongst your players, that this is all generally pretty good for the game?
Yeah, I think the more obviously attention and the more people can, have fun around the event that's going on, just more publicity. That's going to be better for all parts, I believe. Bigger purses, more people coming to events. It's going to be more talk about it, more excitement, and that's also what we want. We want to have a chance to win the golf tournament on Sunday and make a putt to win the tournament, and people just go crazy. And
Right.
that's the more excitement, the better. So yeah, I'm all for it.
I love it. Couple of quick hitters before I get you out of here. You're playing a Titleist ball, right?
Hmm.
Okay, let's talk about this. The Titleist Pro V1 or the Pro V1X that I can go to Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever and purchase is generally not the ball that you guys are playing, right? There are additional variations of the Pro V1 that you have access to that I cannot walk into and buy off a shelf.
Yeah, I'm not the right person to ask here because I do just play the newer
Oh,
version of
the
the
stock.
Titleist, just the stock one. So
Okay.
you and I could potentially play the same ball here, but I know that there are. I could be wrong, but maybe 4 or 5 different versions of the same Pro V1 ball, the left dash and the right
Yeah.
dash. I don't know all the different combinations here, but there's supposedly they're pretty different as well. So,
Hmm.
but I had no problem with the new Pro V1, and it kind of fit my numbers, and the flights were great. So I've just kind of stuck to it.
How often are you trying out new X wedges, balls, drivers? Is it a constant tinkering, or is it like, hey, things are going good, I'll worry about it later? Or like, I imagine there's always something new that is available to you.
Yeah. If if I'm playing well, I'm playing well. I'm not really gonna mess around with it too much. But even if I am, I might come to this new course and you know what, I don't really need the 3 iron off the tee because I'm not gonna hit it off the tee.
Mm.
I might need something that I can hit up in the air and land it on the greens. And that's where, for example, recently I just put a 7 wood in the bag.
Oh,
And I've been very reluctant to put something like that in the bag, but I hit it a few times, and I'm like, this is you can't. I mean, you can't miss this thing. So, so that will probably be something that I change between courses.
got
But
it.
it's the golf is like my way of kind of thinking of trying to improve. Before, a couple of years ago when I was in college, it was always okay, I need to work on my technique, and it's got to look this and that and whatever. And I've kind of gotten to the point where there's not that much, it doesn't give me that much benefit to stand on the range and hit balls for 4 hours a day. Now it's more trying to optimize other things that I'm doing, whether that's clubs and or if it's sleep, working
Oh,
out,
okay.
supplements that you can take that just enhances your focus or recovery. Just little things like that. And I've kind of something that I've kind of always pride myself in is that I was never like a star coming up, or I was never looked at as, okay, this is going to be the next guy. I've always just gotten a little bit better every single year. And I think we often kind of overestimate how much you can do in a day or two. But if you just add certain things into your routines that you do on a daily basis, you do those every day for months, years, whatever, it's going to add up. And I feel like that's something that I've done well.
Just get 1% better every day for the next decade.
It's super cheesy, but it's true.
Oh, I think it is true. I've got so many questions, but I'll be respectful of your time here. So first of all, how far do you hit that 7-wood?
So in Vegas, it went pretty far. That's where I was doing the testing there. It's going to go around 225 to 230 meters. So about 255.
You play in meters.
Yeah. So about 255.
Oh, but Shea's
yards.
used to that, right? Because that's
and he's
normal.
Australian, so there are meters over there.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that would be comfortable for him. So you guys talk in meters, because some guys will do meters and then, or the caddy will do it in meters, then has to translate it to yards. But you guys are both in meters all the time.
Yeah, he's used to that. One of his former players that he used to work with was in meters, so it wasn't a big change for him.
Interesting. Okay. Would you rather? This is going to be a multi-part question. Would you rather hit every single club 10 yards further, so maybe 12 meters further? Is that about right?
Yeah, it'd be 9. It's 10%.
Oh, I went the wrong way. Okay, yeah, so 9 10%. Meters. Yep. So hit every club 9 meters further, or you make every single putt inside of 10 feet.
Oh, that's putting for sure.
Okay. What would the foot range be before it became?
Before it goes the other way?
Yeah. Like 5
you
feet.
Just even if it was 5 or 6 feet, again, delving into the stats here, my putting numbers have been pretty good, but I've struggled within kind of, the 7 to 5 feet range. I've missed a few too many putts on average every round. So for me, that might be kind of disproportionately, it might benefit me more not missing those short putts versus hitting it, 10 yards further, which is definitely going to help. But, that's something that I have to, the logistics of it, I have to, what's the dispersion like, and then what's the spin numbers, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on with that. So I think for me, if I just don't miss a single short putt anymore, that's going to help me quite a good bit.
Okay, fair enough. I think I also saw you are in the field for Tiger's event, right? For Hero World Challenge, which I imagine that's probably, so I don't know if you want to share this. Your schedule is probably Mayakoba, Hero World Challenge, and that's it for the year, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm actually going to Mayakoba, and then a week off. I'm going to Dubai for the final over there.
Okay.
And then I come back for Thanksgiving, and then Bahamas, and then I've got then I'm going back to Norway. So there's still quite a bit of travel left.
Yeah, man, you were going to be racking up the miles. I hope you got the frequent flyers, man. That's a lot of travel, isn't it?
I really wanted to go to Japan and play the Zozo event last week, but with kind of the remainder of the flights that I'm going through, I felt like it was probably smart to just take that one off.
What's your best travel tip? You travel a lot. There's got to be some type of travel life hack that you can share with the people.
So I'm really bad at just falling asleep real quick. So jet lag is a crusher for me. I can't do it. But going back to this, trying to optimize things and sleep and stuff, I'm listening to this one guy. His name is Andrew Huberman, and I got it on. He has a podcast where he just kind of talks about, health in general. And the next title that I was gonna listen to was How to Beat Jet Lag. So that one's gonna help me a lot, hopefully. But other than that, I mean, I've heard you can time meals and stuff to kind of fit your normal circadian rhythm, and so you feel tired at certain times. But I don't know how that works. I just eat when I'm hungry, and all that stuff. So I sleep when I'm tired, and when I'm not, I can't really fall asleep. So I'm kind of screwed that way.
Okay, Andrew Huberman, a
Huberman, yeah,
American neuroscientist at Stanford. So
yeah,
sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Okay, that
yeah.
next episode
Interesting stuff.
that is just for you. I'm going to add that to my list. Thank you very much. While we're at this, is there anything on YouTube I should be watching that I'm not? Like what is good on YouTube right now? I'll give you one, and I'll give you one here. There's a guy who have you ever seen this Geoguesser guy?
No, have not. What is this?
All right. So Geoguesser is a game that is built on the Google Maps engine, or that Google like Street View. Like, like you can drop your person in there. You can see
Yeah.
like the Street View. Okay. So what this game does is it drops you anywhere in the world, and then you have to pinpoint your location.
Oh my
And
God.
you can move around, and you can read signs, and you can like, look at the trees, or where the position of the sun in the sky, and then you can like pinpoint your location. And
So
some of
you
them
have
are
to so you have to guess like where you are. How
correct.
how good are these images? Is it just based off Google Earth
Yeah,
essentially?
so
Or
it's just like Google Earth or Google Street View. So you can like walk around, like you can go to the next block, you can turn around,
okay,
you can
that's
look at
cool.
storefronts and stuff. So it's like super addicting. I'm terrible at it, but there's this guy, Geo Wizard, who's unbelievable, Victor. So he will look at this and be like, oh, the first 3 seconds in, he'll be like, oh, those trees, like definitely Scandinavian. Okay, this
Yeah,
the sun is in the southern hemisphere, so I must be in the northern hemisphere, and they're driving on the right side of the road, and like if in like 5 minutes,
that's cool.
he's like identified where he, and I'm so addicted to his YouTube channel now. I just like let it run all day long. It's fascinating.
That's cool because that's stuff you can kind of use in everyday life as well. You look at the signs or the language or the trees
Yeah.
or whatever. You learn something, so that's good.
You might
Definitely
be
a good way
you
to.
might be good at that. You've seen a lot of different places. You might be like, oh, this
Yeah,
reminds me of Dubai. I think I might be in Dubai.
yeah. I don't think I'm no wizard, but I think I could maybe manage a little bit.
Not with that attitude, you're not, but you'll get there. Is there anything that you're watching that you think I should be watching?
You're probably not missing out on anything. But I do. For example, we talked about poker. I've been watching Dan and Lograno's kind of poker vlogs now with the World Series of Poker going on. So I watched that, and then there's a channel called More Plates, More Dates, and it's essentially a guy who talks about steroids and working out and stuff. And I'm just interested in kind of the perspective that he has with testing out certain things and what that does to your body. So I'm interested in that stuff.
This looks very extreme. More plates, like it's like extreme things that people do to their body. It looks like
pretty much, yeah. So that's interesting. And then kind of there's a couple of different like reactors that I watch because I obviously I like metal music, and every time there's like a new big single or an album that comes out, I'll like watch these reactors listen to the whole album for the first time, and I've never listened to the album as well, so I'm like reacting with another person to this metal band that we both really like or something. So I think that's pretty cool. Like that's something that's goofy. Other people can't really relate to, but I think it's that's like the few things that I do when I'm not really playing golf.
I love it. Are you caught up on Dean Eggs' blog? I'm one behind. I've not seen the one he posted today.
Yeah. I just watched that one recently. So no, he's doing good, cashing in.
Why does he have the RV? He goes to his RV. He just keeps that there by.
Yeah, that's pretty clutch. I feel like because he doesn't have to drive from the strip all the way home. I don't know where he lives, but and chill if he's playing Texas Hold'em no limit 3K buy-in, and then he loses, and then instead of going home, he can wait 2 hours in his RV and chill and and then enter the next time. So that's pretty clever. That's next level stuff.
That's optimizing, Victor. He's optimizing his experience.
Finding those edges.
I love it. Viktor Hovland, everyone. Really appreciate you hopping on. I hope we talk soon, and good luck.
Yeah, thanks, Rick. Thanks for having me on.
There you have it. Viktor Hovland. Not often you get to talk to a top 20 player in the world who is going to be literally defending his crown at Mayakoba in just a few days. So really incredible stuff. Again, big thanks to Viktor Hovland there. Obviously, we'll throw our support behind Viktor at Mayakoba and all the events that he has coming up. But let me know what you think about this and these interviews, these podcasts. I've been trying to bring on new and interesting people kind of from all different golf and golf adjacent areas. If you know anybody that would like to come on, obviously tweet me at RickRunGood. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Talk to you soon. See ya.